Are you dreaming of a career or building a business and sharing your passion? So that's what I had as well. How did I move from the corporate HR global mobility in a pharma company, my 9 to 5, into a business owner? Well, the overnight success took me 10 years. But with these tips and tricks that I'm going to share with you, you might manage in a shorter time. So what will I share with you in the next slides? Who am I? What is my ikigai? How I found my niche? What is my mission and vision for the upcoming 10 years? What were the challenges along the way? And what does it take to walk on this path to success? So first of all, functional medicine. As a functional medicine practitioner and a holistic nutritionist, I love the marriage of science and spirituality. And spirituality, it's nothing to do with religion. Spirituality is the purpose. Why are you here? And that took me quite a while to find. So functional medicine is about body, mind, and spirit interconnection. And what I help my clients to do is to understand the root cause of their issue. So the conventional medicine has this name it, tame it, blame it. So let's give it a label, Hashimoto. Yeah, name it. Let's blame something, for example, Epstein-Barr virus, and then let's tame it. Let's take some immunosuppressants or some synthetic hormones to take control over this labeled disease. And functional medicine looks at everything. What happened in your life? What was actually the trigger? There are so many triggers and so many obstacles on our way that one day the DNA can be exposed. Because remember, the genes, it's like a loaded gun, but it's the environment that pushes the trigger. And that's the trigger that can have then impact on other areas of the well-being. So functional medicine is like a detective work, putting all the puzzles together and then helping you to restore your health so that you can be the master of your health and the captain of your soul. And when I was finding my niche, I didn't know that this is going to be it. And this is what I love just now. And we will come back to it later as well. So how did I get to the point when I decided that I don't want anymore the 9 to 5, that HR and the pharma is not for me, or any corporate environment is not for me? Well, one day I was cycling in the rain like this person, and I was just wishing that Mondays never come because I hated Mondays. It meant I have to work, but it wasn't me. And I started asking myself some questions. And this was thanks to David G, my meditation guru. He said, "You are the director, producer, and protagonist of your life. You can have everything you want. So what you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. And what you imagine, you create." So I knew I have to imagine and create for me a better future. And so I did an audit of my life. What is the purpose or meaning of my life? Why am I here? And that was a tough question because I didn't really know at that time. Was it to be a good mother to my small kids? Was it to be a good wife that supports the career of the husband? What was it? And what was it that I actually liked? Because putting all these jobs and these masks on me, I forgot the true passion that I used to had years before. And so I asked myself another question. If this was the last day of my life, did I enjoy it? Well, the day when I was cycling back, I certainly didn't. But I started asking myself this question every single day, and I do it until today. Anything that I am going to do, even recording this video for you, if this was the last day of my life, would I do it? And the answer is yes, because there is a mission, vision, and passion behind it. But at that time, it wasn't really what I wanted. I didn't really want to do the job. I was doing it only because of money, to pay the mortgage, to have enough money so that my children have comfortable life. But I completely forgot about myself. So I knew I had to untangle this and find my path. Another question that I asked myself was, if I won a lottery, 50 million euros, just to be sure that I have enough for all my life, what would I do? And after the initial, well, I would travel around the world. I would buy all the properties for everybody who I like. I would build some schools and support the people who need it. Yes. Then I had to dig deeper. So, with the skills, what would be the skills that would help the people? So, what is it that I love? What people need? What could bring even more money? And which skills will I need for that? So that was to find the ikigai. And I started thinking, well, I since I was a little girl, I loved education. That's why I actually studied languages and literature, and I was a teacher, language teacher in language schools, and I loved it. I loved teaching people languages. I also love speaking, so I'm quite good at it. Yeah, so you need to like be good at something. But I also loved food, but not only cooking it, but explaining to people how the food can be powerful, how it's information. But at the time, I didn't know so much about it. And so I started researching what it can be. But before I started researching, I asked one of the most important questions. What do I want people to say about me at the funeral? And what would they say now? And I can tell you that in that moment, when I was doing this exercise, my children would be saying, she always rushes in the morning to put us into the crash. And then she goes to work. And when she collects us in the afternoon, she's complaining about how hard life she has because she needs to do this, this, and that. And she's always complaining and she's never there for us. We are playing with nannies and I didn't want my children to say anything like this. What would my mom say? What would my friends say? And it wasn't nice. And so then I was like, what is it that I actually want them to say? And for my children, who are actually the most important for me, I wanted that they would say, she was always there for us. She interrupted her work just to listen to us. She didn't judge. She didn't complain. She was the best mom on the planet. That's what I wanted my children. I wanted my mom to be proud of me, that I live the life that I wanted, that I am authentic, and all my friends celebrating me. And that's what I want until today. And so, what I decided was this all or nothing. So, this comes from Tony Robbins, and he says, if you want to take the island, burn the boats. And that's what I did. So, I quit the job. I actually even got divorced, even though my relationship was quite good. I just knew that I need to be on this path on my own. And then I started. How? A goal without a plan is just a wish. And so I had to create a vision board. And I found this one, and it was in a Feng Shui style with all the colors. And so I spent hours and hours and days and months thinking about what is it that I want, um, what I'm grateful for, what I appreciate. And I had to be crystal clear on relationship, on family, on health. That is at the core of everything. And you can see in this picture that until today, I still use the vision board. I just change, of course, the goals as I progress. But if somebody was to ask me, now, what everything that you have on your vision board, Genie in the bottle says he can give it to you immediately, I wouldn't want it because I am enjoying the journey, going slowly to fulfill all my dreams, goals, passions, and mission. And I also have a doorway drill that I created. How do I want to be seen by the people outside? And who do I want to be when I come inside? So, as a language teacher and linguist, I love playing with letters. So, SSS LLL. So when I go outside, how do I want you to see me? I want you to view me as a smart, sexy, and successful. And here I was playing with thesaurus, like what is the actual meaning of that? And for me, smart is a sharp mind, but also being stylish. Sexy, that's not really about sex, intimacy, even though could be as well, but it's sensual, desirable, glamorous, and successful. Success, what Tony Robbins says as well, I did his course. Success is doing what you want, when you want, with whom you want, and as much as you want. And that was the reason for my success. Prosperity, and rich with knowledge and wisdom, because nobody can take this away from me. And who do I want to be when I'm inside, in my house, with my friends, with my family, with my children? I want to be loyal, reliable, always true to myself and to my family. I want to be loving, giving unconditional love to my kids, friends, and myself, and laughing. I want to have lots of fun and a positive energy. So entertaining people and being entertained by the people. And fox is my favorite animal, and it's present everywhere in my house. So this was the work that I did. And then I had to go step by step. So skills. Well, obviously, because I studied languages and literature, I didn't have any background in chemistry and biology. And so I had to do A levels in London, which took me 1 year. So what students do in 4 years, I had to do in 1 year, and then pass the exams and apply for the College of Nutrition and Health. And that's where I studied another 3 years. And in between that, I did the yoga teacher training and the hormone therapy training because I had to make money on something. Because remember, I burned all the boats. I had no income and I had 2 kids and 2 dogs. I was single. And so when I finished all of this, then I started building my business. But along building the business, I was also studying the functional medicine, which is additional 3 years to receive license for 10 years to practice the functional medicine. So this is why it took me so long, because I had to have a really good education to be a number one on a market. So if you are thinking about building the business, I will say know your why and the purpose, because it's never about the money. And the first years, it's just like a charity. You have to build a reputation in exchange for the Google reviews and LinkedIn reviews, and maybe people recommending you, and you are doing it mostly for free. So without passion, focus, and clarity, it just wouldn't happen. And what were also the principles of mastery? So what I did was finding the coach. So when I finished my studies and started the online business, I knew it had to be the online business. I looked for mentors, coaches that have been on the same path, and they had a proven record of successful business, and I wanted to learn from them. And then this total immersion. So I had everything scheduled. So not only my own health, like exercise and studies, but also everything about the business. So sales, marketing, and so much more. And then spaced repetition. So I was in masterminds once a month, meeting with the online business owners and talking about the struggles or everything that was new. So who were my mentors? One more thing I want to say. My aim was not to use any of my savings. So everything that I made, I invested back into the business, and maybe I kept a little bit for me, but I never had to borrow any money. And for this reason, I wanted to start slow. So the first mentor was Marie Forleo, and it's the B School. And what I like in a B School is that you purchase it once, and she runs this program twice a year, and you can join it live anytime you want. She's changing the videos. This starting, it's more about how to get your head around it, what is marketing, which websites to build, and I liked it. And actually, even this year, I'm going to repeat it with Marie Forleo again. The second one, and this was during COVID, it was Sigrun. So Sigrun is a very successful marketing guru. She lives in Zurich, and she had this Somba Kickstart program. I think she renamed it now, and I think that she doubled the price. So maybe you also want to know the prices. So for Marie Forleo, at that time, I paid $3,000. Sigrun, I paid $3,000 as well. So Marie Forleo is a 6 weeks program. So it's only 6 weeks, but you have the recording. And Sigrun, at that time, it was 10-week program. And it was with her team. So 3,000 as well for 10 weeks. And then I made a massive investment in 2022. That was with Yuri, healthpreneur. So you have to really apply, have the interviews, and for some reason I don't know why, he probably saw that I'm in Switzerland and my must therefore earn money. You must earn minimum 10,000 Swiss francs per month to be accepted into this program. At that time in 2022, I paid $19,000 just to join a group and only listen to what he's saying. So not the next one. And I think now he has it for 29 or $36,000 per year to listen to his advice. So it's quite expensive. But the reason why I've chosen this one, it was also about funnels, and it was for functional medicine practitioners and doctors and dietitians and nutritionists. So this was really specific to my niche, and I wanted to know how they are doing it. So it was looking into their business, how much they earn, and what works. The only disadvantage for me was that like he was Canadian and most of the people were from the US, so it was in a different time zone, and their marketing strategies are slightly different from what works in Europe. And then in between that, I did some courses with Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within, and then Dunlock. So Dunlock, it's also extremely expensive to do the full masterminds with him. But if I was to scale the business and would want to learn the marketing and sales, which is like very pushy sales, I would probably go with Dunlock. And Tony Robbins has also masterminds. So these were my mentors. So what makes me confident? Confidence and competence go hand in hand. So for me, it's the competence, knowing that I am a #1 nutritionist in my area, and that's according to the Google, and that I am the best functional medicine practitioner in Switzerland, again, according to the Google. And I know that I can help people. So this is my confidence and competence, and I know that we can build even into that. Here I want to share with you some of the, let's say, quotes that stay with me from all the mentors and that I keep in mind. So sell them what they want and give them what they need. And I used to make a mistake from all my studies, knowing what the people actually need, but this wasn't selling, because they want the transformation for them. They don't want to know that it's going to take them a long time. So I had to completely change the way what I almost like a promise to them, what they will get, but I knew what they needed. So another one, people don't buy features, they buy future. So I was like telling them what everything they will have, and they will complete the questionnaire and they will get the meal plans and the videos and all of that. No, they just wanted to know that with my help, they will be able to lose weight and have the energy. That was all that they wanted to hear. People don't buy prevention, they buy cure. So people that come to me must have problem. They must have a health problem. And if they don't have the health problem yet, I need to dig deeper to find them that they are on the path to the problem. Because prevention of like take probiotics, and it does not work. Women buy with emotions. So it's important to let them speak. This is one of my problems because I like speaking and I'm not a good listener. So I had to learn to let them speak the long stories that they like to share. People want to move away from the pain or towards the pleasure. Otherwise, they're not going to leave the comfort zone. So they're either out of the comfort zone, and that's why they want to go back to where they were, or they want to seek a pleasure. They want to feel phenomenal and better than they have now. So this is also important in the copywriting, sales, and marketing. People buy the speed. They wanted it yesterday. So when I, for example, have 12-month program, well, they want it in 3 months, the transformation. Yeah. So again, sell them what they want, but then give them what they need. They actually need the 12 months. They don't buy a maybe. They want certainty. So if I tell them you might lose weight, no, you will. You are going to lose weight if you do X, Y, Z, for example. So these were the things that I had to remember and I learned from my mentors. And you might be asking which systems I'm using. So obviously at the start, what was the worst was going back and forward about when can we have the free discovery call. So for this one, I used to use Calendly, but OneHub is much better and I have it integrated with other softwares. I definitely recommend using Bexio. So if you are in Switzerland, you want to have the accounting well done from the start. And so even though I didn't have so many clients, I really paid like 2,800 to my accountant to have every single item correctly set up. And I can tell you now, with having more clients, this is the best. So Bexio. And I use it also for my like customer management system. Active Campaign, because you want to collect the email addresses, you want to send the newsletters, you want to share some of the tips. Then I use Make, and this is for automation. So you maybe know Zapier. That's like a basic, and you can do it yourself. I used to do it as well, but I have Make. So everything is automated, and I don't have to do anything. With Yuri, the healthpreneur, I was using ClickFunnels. I still pay for it, but I actually don't use it. So I need to reevaluate if I'm going to still do the funnels, even though I believe it's a good idea. Then I used Stape, because if you are paying for the Facebook ads and Google ads, the iPhone users, then you are not going to get the report. And if it goes through the Stape, you will know exactly who clicked and how, and you can target it. Thinkific, I use this platform for all my online courses. And the reason why I do it, that I had it before in WordPress, directly like a membership area, but it was slowing down my websites and there were like so many problems that I decided to have it separately, and I pay it yearly. And if I decide not to do any courses anymore, I can just like delete it, or I can always move it to ClickFunnels as well. And then I use Canva Pro, obviously. Even this presentation is done in Canva because I can use all the pictures and I love it. I use DigiSign. So this is a Czech platform for signing the contracts, and everything is automated as well. And Vimeo, sometimes for videos. Grammarly Pro, definitely I highlighted this one because it's life-saving. So it just like rewrites everything in a beautiful way and tells me when I'm maybe too direct and how to soften it. And because I love languages, I also look at what corrections they offer and I learn more and more and more. Then I'm using Loom Pro. I love it because I can make short videos. I get the summary that I share also with my clients. I can share only one part of the screen. There are like so many amazing things that you can do with Loom Pro. I use Spotify, obviously, for audiobooks, meditation, and I love Blinkist. And Blinkist, I put it last, but I should have put it on a complete top. It's for every presentation that I do for corporate companies, personal development, again, learning, for example, German language. Blinkist is my top. To all of them, I have discount codes. So if you ever want, for example, Blinkist with a 75% discount, just drop me a note and I will share it with you. So how can you close the gap? Maybe you started your business, but you are not where you want to be. Maybe you are not getting yourself out of the comfort zone. So what it needs are these 3 C's: courage, commitment, and consistency. Because as Joseph Campbell says, the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. So read this book or look at the hero's journey. So what is hero's journey? Of course, you have this call to action. Oh, I don't want the 9 to 5 anymore, like I had it. You want your own business and you start. And at the beginning, it is an adventure. Yeah, because usually you celebrate some success or there is a luck at the beginning. You meet a mentor. So let's say that Frodo in Lord of the Rings, for example, met Gandalf. And Gandalf tells him what to do, watch out for this and that. And if you need me, I will be there for you. So even you will have mentor on your journey. But what happens is that you get to your threshold. You will be like, this is not for me. It doesn't bring the money. It doesn't go the way I wanted it. You need to keep going. And that's why you have to go beyond the money and income. There must be the passion. And there will be some helpers on the way. And helpers are usually those ones in mastermind with you. Or maybe you have a buddy that also has a business and shares with you some tips and tricks. So there will be failure, trials, error, which I had many when I hired somebody and I paid them money and they didn't do the job. And I didn't have enough money to hire somebody else and I had to do it myself. And I was in this vicious cycle. And you will reach the rock bottom. But from the rock bottom, the path is always up. Yes, because you already sacrificed yourself. You know, found your new identity. You have now all these new skills, and it's getting easier and easier. And you get some gifts and rewards, and you come back to where you started, completely changed. And for me, actually, in May 2025, it's going to be 10 years when I gave up my job and said that I want to fulfill my dreams. So yes, 10 years. And so if you want to get in touch, you want to maybe you're inspired by functional medicine and you need my help, then you can schedule a free discovery call. Maybe you want to do a business with me. Maybe you have a podcast and you want to invite me to your podcast. Get in touch as well. Maybe you want to have a sneak peek into my online courses. Well, there are some free previews, or just connect with me on LinkedIn or social media. So thank you so much for coming to this last slide, and I hope that it gave you something. Share with me your aha moments.